just a second. Is that stone brick? What the heck? Wait, is this the stronghold? Huh? What's that? What the heck? Oh my god! It's the secret emerald amethyst portal! That's so rare!
I'm pretty sure I found the funniest fake Minecraft speedrun because the speedrunners are absolutely terrible at hiding the fact that they're literally cheating. This speedrunner loads into the world, and immediately we see a desert temple and also a desert village out in the distance, which is a very good spawn for a speedrun. But we can already tell that something is fake. You see, if you look at their coordinates in the top left, they are not at 0, 0, which means that this is not a normal spawn. Well, the speedrunner immediately heads towards the pyramid, and they begin digging their way down. Once at the bottom, they loot all 4 chests that all have completely normal loot, but each chest does have 1 diamond each, which is incredibly suspicious, but it's not impossible. But once the speedrunner finishes looting the pyramid, they begin building and breaking their way out of the pyramid. And once they exit the pyramid, they begin making their way towards the village. But wait just a second. Did you say that? Well, in case you didn't, if we rewind the footage and then pause it here, we can see what appears to be a strider. But you see, striders can only spawn inside of snowy biome, which means a strider being here is completely impossible. Well, as the speedrunner starts heading towards the village, they break some dead bushes, which gives them a few sticks, which is actually a thing that a lot of pro speedrunners tend to do. So this part seems pretty legit. Well, the speedrunner arrives at the village, but wait, I just now noticed something that I didn't notice before. And in case you haven't noticed it either, here, I'll show you. You see, on the left side of the screen, we can see a player trying to blend in with the sand in the background. And whenever you're speedrunning, you have to make sure that you're in a single player world. So if they're playing with another person, then this immediately makes the speedrun completely fake. And whenever the speedrunner gets inside one of the village's houses, we can see the speedrunner's friend change their skin inside chat. And you're not gonna believe what they do next. Well, the speedrunner breaks the crafting table and then finds a chest that has some iron and some bread. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Well, the speedrunner places down their crafting table and then they make themselves an iron pickaxe and diamond boots. The speedrunner then breaks the crafting table and then starts exploring more of the village. But wait just a second. Did you see what I just saw? Well, in case you didn't, if we rewind the footage and then play the video from here, we can see a villager walk right by them. Except this isn't a normal villager, as I'm pretty sure this is the speedrunner's friend that we saw earlier trying to blend in with the sand. And at first, I didn't even notice that this was a fake villager. Well, the speedrunner explores more of the village and then starts breaking some hay bales. They also start mining some potatoes, where once again we can see this fake villager that we saw earlier. And if you think that this villager is fake, just see what they do next. Well, the speedrunner breaks all of the potatoes, and then we suddenly see a pressure plate on the ground. But the only thing is that pressure plates do not naturally spawn, as they can only be crafted. And of course, the speedrunner steps on the pressure plate, where they suddenly get launched 800 blocks into the sky. But wait just a minute. You see, I only have 32 subscribers, and I really want to reach 33. So if just one of you subscribe, then I could finally reach my dream of 33 subscribers. But when they eventually start falling back down, they're in a completely different area. Because before they were in a desert, and now we can see them in a plains biome. But how could they have possibly done this? Well, I'm not too sure. But the speedrunner falls back down and lands in some water. And once they get out of the water, they then find a ruin portal that is only missing 1 piece of obsidian. So the speedrunner loots the ruin portal chest, which has a flint and steel, a piece of gold, a golden chest plate, and 1 obsidian, of course. Well, the speedrunner places in the 1 obsidian and lights the nether portal. Once they load into the nether, we can see that they spawn right next to a nether fortress. But if we play the video for 5 more seconds, we can see that this is clearly not a normal nether fortress. So I'm pretty sure the speedrunner just went inside a creative and built their own nether fortress, which in case you're new to Minecraft is just simply not legit. Well, the speedrunner goes up the staircase, where they suddenly find a piglin. Something about this piglin tells me that it's not real, and you'll see why I say this in just a sec. So the speedrunner opens up their inventory, grabs a piece of gold, and drops it to the piglin. The piglin, of course, examines the gold and drops them an enchanted diamond sword. Okay, this is obviously fake, but that's not even the craziest part, because you see, the diamond sword has sharpness 3000. I didn't even know that was an enchantment inside of Minecraft. Well, the speedrunner walks away from the piglin and goes outside, where they find a blaze. Guys, am I the only one seeing that this is clearly not a real blaze? Well, the very real blaze attacks the speedrunner, and then the speedrunner just one-hits it. And the blaze, of course, drops blaze rods. But how many blaze rods? Well, let's see. The blaze dropped a stack of blaze rods, because of course? Well, the speedrunner now has all of the blaze rods that they need, so they leave the nether, and once they're back in the overworld, they go around in circles for a little bit until they suddenly start dropping down below into a cave. Now, when I watched this part for the first time, I was very confused, because why would the speedrunner go inside of a completely random cave? Well, you'll see why they do this in just a moment. But the speedrunner drops down below, and we can see what appears to be a stone brick tunnel, which if you know anything about Minecraft, you know that stone brick usually means that it's a stronghold. But the only problem is that they're at Y level 38, and strongholds can only appear at Y level 16 or below, which makes this part of the speedrun completely fake. Well, the speedrunner walks towards the stronghold and mines their way in, and that's when we can see that the end portal is already lit and it's made out of diamonds and amethyst. Guys, how is this even possible? Everybody knows that end portals are made from end frames and not diamonds, which confirms that this part of the speedrun is very, very fake. Well, the speedrunner begins to jump into the portal, but wait, do you see what I see? Well, in case you don't, here, I'll show you. Behind the iron bars, we can see what appears to be a villager, which once again, I have a weird suspicion could be the speedrunner's friend that we saw all throughout the speedrun so far. Well, the speedrunner enters the end, and once they load in, they build up with hay bales and begin searching for the ender dragon. But the speedrunner runs up towards the ender dragon and hits it one time, which somehow kills it. I had no idea that sharpness 3000 was this OP. Well, now that the ender dragon is dead, the speedrunner jumps into the portal and finishes the speedrun with a time of 6 minutes and 24 seconds, giving them the new world record. This speedrunner loads into the world, and we immediately see a desert village and also a ruined portal. But wait just a second. Already, we can see something that is not legit. You see, if you look down at their hotbar, they're in their second slot. And whenever you load into a world, you always start in your first slot. So this tells us that the speedrun could be fake. The speedrunner starts heading towards the ruined portal, but listen to what they say.
Oh, holy moly macaroni, I have a ruined portal and a desert village right next to each other. Oh my goodness, this is such a good seed.
The speedrunner is right. This is actually a very good seed. The speedrunner makes her way towards the ruined portal and opens the chest to find some actual normal loot, like golden carrots, a fire charge, and some golden armor. All loot that is technically normal.
Ooh, okay. Tons of gold for me. It's okay loot, I guess.
Well, the speedrunner has one obsidian and they place it on the ruin portal, which is not enough to complete the ruin portal, but it definitely helps. The speedrunner then begins making their way towards the village, but wait just a second. Did you see that? Well, if we rewind the footage and then pause it here, on the left side of the screen, we can see what appears to be an alley, which is a mob that can only spawn inside of caves. So an alley being above ground like this is physically impossible. And this alley isn't even the craziest part. Just wait to see what happens later. Well, now that the speedrunner is at the village, they take some carrots and mine some hay bales. Everything that seems pretty normal. But then the speedrunner enters a house and finds a chest. But wait, we have to keep in mind that this house never has a chest inside of it. So how is there a chest right here? Well, it could be a world generation glitch, or maybe they placed it themselves. Well, the speedrunner opens a chest and finds some okay loot, like iron ingots, some carrots, and a sapling. If the speedrunner did cheat this in, I'm not sure why they would cheat in a sapling. Let's also listen to the speedrunner's reaction whenever they open the chest.
Ooh, a chest. Okay. I guess you could say I'm the luckiest person alive, huh?
The fact that they said that they were the luckiest person alive leads me to believe that the rest of the speedrun is going to be just as fake as the start. And you'll see what I mean very, very soon. Well, now that the speedrunner finished looting the chest, they begin walking away when they say this.
Okay, not bad at all. That's like the best loot that I think I've ever got like in my entire life.
Did you see that? Well, in case you didn't, if we rewind the footage and then pause it here, we can see that this piece of grass right here is a little bit more green than the rest. And I think the speedrunner put this there themselves, and you'll see exactly why I say this in just a few seconds. Well, the speedrunner says that they need a crafting table, so they begin mining a tree.
Alright, but I do need a crafting table to be able to do all my stuff and loot all my stuff and do all my stuff and loot it.
They make themselves a crafting table and some sticks. They begin crafting a whole bunch of new items to help them in the speedrun. speedrun, but once they finish crafting, they say something very, very suspicious.
Might as well get a bucket of water. Oh, I remembered something that I really like collecting grass for some reason. So I'm just gonna like collect a little bit of grass, and cause I just love grass so much. Oh, okay. I love grass.
Did you see that? Well, they mined that light green piece of grass that we saw earlier, but right now we have no idea why. But trust me, we will find out exactly why they did this very, very soon. Well, now that they finished mining that weird piece of grass, they begin making their way. Just a second. Do you see that? There is literally a lit nether portal exactly where we saw the ruined portal from earlier. But how is this possible? Because earlier the speedrunner did not have enough obsidian to finish the portal. So how could it have possibly been lit now? The speedrunner makes her way back towards the ruined portal when they say this.
So I think I'm gonna head back towards this portal. Wait a minute. Is it lit? Oh wait, yeah, I remember. I did light it earlier. So yeah, I lit it earlier.
There's no way they expect us to believe that they lit it earlier when we clearly saw that they just simply didn't. So something tells me that the speedrunner might be lying. Well, the speedrunner goes through the portal, and once they're in the nether, they find something absolutely crazy.
Okay, let's see this nether spawn. Oh my goodness, right, a fortress is literally right here. Oh my goodness gracious. That is the luckiest thing I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, the speedrunner spawned right next to a fortress, which is possible, I can't lie, but it's extremely lucky. And also, the speedrunner is running around the fortress, and we have yet to see a single mob, which is very, very suspicious. But what happens next is even more suspicious than that.
I wonder if there's any bad guys here. Well, in case there is, I might as well use my diamond sword.
The speedrunner somehow has a diamond sword, but we never watched them pick up a diamond sword at all throughout the speedrun. But wait a minute, remember when they were mining that piece of grass earlier? But I think that the speedrunner placed this diamond sword beneath the grass, so that way whenever they broke it, they picked up the diamond sword. And they weren't looking down, so that way we couldn't see them pick it up. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. The speedrunner begins exploring the nether fortress when this happens.
Oh, what the hacky hack? Is that a ruin portal right there? Let's go! Let's go! Let's see, what do we got? Oh, flint and steel. Oh, 7 blaze rods.
Yeah, the speedrunner found a ruin portal, which is actually legit, but what's inside of the chest at the ruin portal is not. Because it's impossible to find blaze rods inside of a ruin portal chest, because you can only get them if you simply kill a blade. And what the speedrunner says next leads me to believe that they are 100% cheating.
Oh, I heard that was in the new update that they added blaze rods inside of ruin portal chests instead of you having to kill, like, any of the blazes.
Yeah, they said it was a new update, but whenever I look this up, it says nothing about blaze rods spawning inside of ruined portal chest. So the speedrunner is just simply lying. But wait a second, I just realized something else that is very weird. And in case you haven't seen it, then here, I'll show you. On the left side of the screen, we can see what appears to be a sign. Well, it's too far away, so I can't see what they wrote on. And the speedrunner just walks right by it without saying anything. So I'm not sure what it was used for. But the speedrunner does say this.
Well, I might as well go back because I don't need to be in here anymore because you know how it is. I never have to be here because I'm so cool and I'm so awesome and I'm so good at speedruns.
Did you see that? Well, in case you didn't hear, I'll rewind the footage and then I'll pause it here. So basically, there is a frog inside of this nether fortress, which in case you're new to Minecraft is just completely impossible. Because you see, frogs can only spawn inside of jungle. Well, the speedrunner starts making their way back towards the ruin portal when they suddenly do some pretty cool bridging. And then they finally make it to the nether portal, and once they're back in the overworld, they say this.
I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm doing this speedrun like super duper quick, and I'm like the bestest. I'm probably gonna get the best time. And also, I hate people who cheat in their speedruns like so much. Like, can you guys just do like a normal speedrun? Like, let's just talk like one-on-one for a second. Like, I hate people who cheat in speedruns. Like, me personally, I would never cheat in a speedrun. Never, ever, 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 ever.
You gotta be kidding. First of all, who stops in the middle of a speedrun to just talk. And also, they are very clearly cheating. So there's no way they expect us to believe that they're not. Especially after what happens next.
Well, now that we got that out of the way, I have my 7 blaze rods. I might as well turn it into blaze powder now. I just need, what do you call it? I need Enderman. Oh, Enderman! I heard that there's like a secret Enderman call that make Enderman spawn. Whenever you're like, whenever you do that, it makes the Enderman spawn. So let's see if it works.
What the heck just happened? There's no way their secret Enderman call actually worked. I'm actually so confused what just happened. If anybody knows how they did this, then please let me know. Well, they begin fighting a whole bunch of Endermen when they get extremely low, so they run into some water. They do manage to kill one Enderman when something very weird happened.
Okay, I know I killed one of the Endermen, but I don't know if it gave me any Ender Pearls, but I might as well check. Oh my god, it did! It dropped 16 Ender Pearls! Oh yeah, I remember picking that up whenever I killed that, I remember.
There's no way that one Enderman dropped 16 Ender Pearls. That's just physically impossible. Also, if we look back at when they did kill the Enderman, we can see that it very clearly dropped nothing. Not only that, if we pay very close attention to the timer in the top left, we can see it go from 6 minutes and 4 seconds all the way to 6 minutes and 30 seconds, all within 1 second. So either the speedrunner is a time traveler or something very fishy is going on here. Well, the speedrunner gets out of the water and then they tell the Enderman to watch them do something cool.
Hey, Enderman, watch this. Hiya! Oh, okay. You like that, Enderman?
I'm gonna be honest, that was not impressive at all. The speedrunner turns their Ender Pearls into Eyes of Ender, but then whenever they throw it, something very weird happens.
Oh, it's in that direction. Yeah, I don't want to go in that direction. Oh my goodness, what is this? Is this stone brick? What the heck? How did stone brick get here? All right, let's see. Wait a minute, what the heck? Oh my god! Oh my god, no way is this stronghold!
Are we being serious right now? This is literally the Temu version of a stronghold. First of all, strongholds cannot even spawn this high up as they can only spawn at Y level 16. Not only that, on the right and the left side of the screen, we can see glowstone behind the iron bar. But guess what? I'm not done. Because if we also look at the spawner, that is not a normal spawner. That is something called a trial spawner that only spawns in the trial chamber. So those are 3 things that immediately make this part of the speedrun completely fake. But let's also listen to what the speedrunner says.
Oh my god, I can't believe I got so lucky and I got the stronghold. Oh my goodness gracious. Well, I think it's time to go to the end. Yahoo! Oh my goodness. What the heck kind of end spawn is this?
Okay, the speedrunner is in the end and they did not get a very good spawn. And whenever I first saw this part, I thought that they were gonna throw an ender pearl. They found an even better way to get out of this situation. And this part is absolutely mind-blowing.
I guess I better watch my steps, that way I don't fall. Oh my goodness gracious. This end spawn is just so bad and so garbage, and I hate this end spawn. I'm like kind of scared to even like go anywhere just because like I'm like right on the edge and it's just so crazy. Oh, wait, oh, I think I made it. Oh, okay, I'm good, never mind.
Did we all just watch that happen? Because I am so confused. The speedrunner was literally floating on air. The only way I could assume that they did this was by placing barrier blocks. And they had to have memorized exactly where to go because they somehow didn't fall once. Which I gotta give it to them is pretty impressive. But what's not impressive is what they do next.
Oh, Ender Dragon! It's time to die, Ender Dragon! Oh, what the heck? Why are there so many eggs everywhere? Come here, egg. Oh, come here, egg. Oh, come here, egg. Oh, come here, egg. Oh. What the heck? Okay, stupid egg. Get lit on fire. So, oh, what the heck?
Speedrunner just lit themselves on fire, which is probably the most embarrassing thing that you can do in Minecraft. And for some reason, the Ender Dragon just, I guess, didn't spawn, and instead, 1,000,000 eggs spawned. So the speedrunner should be able to beat the speedrun pretty easily. But just watch what they do.
Alright, time to go up. Oh, I beat the speedrun. Oh, wait. Wait, I almost beat the speedrun. Oh, wait, oh, what the heck? Wait, we go. Yay! I beat the speedrun. I beat the speedrun. I beat the speedrun.
They finally beat the speedrun with a time of 9 minutes and 32 seconds. This speedrun starts in a desert, and if we look on the right, we can see a desert pyramid. But wait, if we also look at their coordinates in the top left, we can see that they're not 0, 0, which means that this spawn is actually not legit. Well, the speedrunner begins to look around, and not only is there a pyramid, there's also a village. But guess what? There's another pyramid. So they expect us to believe that they spawn next to 2 pyramids and a village. That's gonna be the luckiest spawn I've ever seen. Well, the speedrunner runs to one of the pyramids, and once they're there, they dig down and loot the first chest, which has a diamond. They take the diamond, some gold, and some blocks, and then loot the second chest, which also has a diamond. They take the diamond, and guess what happens when they loot the third chest? They find another diamond. I'm sure the speedrunner is just extremely lucky because whenever they loot the fourth chest, they find another diamond, and also a golden apple. They build out of the pyramid and make their way towards the village. They go up to a house and look through the window where they can see a chest. But watch very carefully for what happens whenever they loot this chest. Did you see it? Well, whenever they were going towards the village, they only had 4 diamonds and 9 gold. But whenever they looted the chest that only had bread, they suddenly had 4 diamonds, 9 gold, 12 bread, and 2 ender pearls. Even though the chest had no ender pearls inside of them. So if we rewind the footage, we can see that whenever they got to the village, they suddenly picked up 2 ender pearls. Which, in case you couldn't tell, is just not legit. Well, they started exploring more of the village. But wait, if we rewind the footage and pause it here, we can see what appears to be a polar bear inside of a hole. But the part that makes this extremely confusing is that polar bears only spawn in the nether. So a polar bear being in the desert literally makes no sense. This speedrunner starts going inside of several of the villagers' houses and breaking the beds, which is actually a pro speedrunner strategy. But inside of one of the houses, they find a chest which has some obsidian. They then make their way towards another house and find another chest which has even more obsidian. So now they have 6 obsidian, and to make another portal, you need a total of 10. But that's okay because the speedrunner enters another house and they find the last 4 obsidian that they need. But they also find some iron, which you know is definitely not fake. Well, before they make the nether portal, they find a crafting table and make themselves a diamond pickaxe. They then begin constructing themselves a nether portal, and once they complete it, they realize that they don't have anything to light the portal with. So they go inside the same house that they were in before and open the furnace to find a fire charge. Which I don't even think I have to say this, but that is completely fake. Well, the speedrunner takes the fire charge and goes back towards the nether portal and lights it and then enters the nether. Once they're in the nether, some weird stuff starts happening because we can see this extremely long soul sand path. So of course the speedrunner starts going across the path, and I'm gonna speed up the footage because this path is extremely long. And when I say long, I mean long. Well, the path leads them to a fortress where they find some blazes. So the speedrunner fights the blazes, but wait, did you see that? Every single time they hit the blaze, it didn't move at all. It just stayed inside the same exact spot. But you know, maybe it's just a glitch. Well, the speedrunner goes up to the next blaze, and they keep on hitting it from around the corner, but the blaze just does not move. And the same can be said about this blaze as well. So I think something fishy is going on here. Well, they kill the blazes until they have 2 blaze rods. They turn their blaze rods into blaze powder to make themselves 2 eyes of ender. But whenever you speedrun Minecraft, you usually get like 12 eyes of ender, not 2. But you'll see why they only need 2 later in the speedrun. They begin making their way back towards the nether portal, and after 8 years of walking, they finally make it. Once they're back in the overworld, they wander around for quite some time until they find a crafting table and they make themselves some iron boots. They then find this dead bush on the ground and for some reason start digging straight down below it, which you know isn't suspicious at all. They keep on digging straight down until they find themselves in the stronghold. Yeah, so you're expecting me to believe that the speedrunner spawned on top of the stronghold? Yeah, right. The speedrunner breaks the spawner and places in their 2 eyes of ender. But before they jump into the portal, they turn around and find this weird looking lava. How is the lava not flowing normally? I am so confused. Well, the speedrunner jumps into the portal. Once they're in the end, we can see that there's actually no enderman, which is very confusing because we saw blazes in the nether, which means they're not on peaceful mode. So the fact that there's no enderman here is genuinely just confusing. The ender dragon hits the speedrunner several times and they actually get extremely low. Well, the speedrunner sets up a bed trap for the ender dragon, but before they can even blow up one bed, they die. And I think the speedrunner gets extremely mad because the speedrun just ends there. This speedrunner starts in a plains biome. They end up finding an iron golem and they kill it, even though iron golems only spawn inside of villages, and this is clearly not a village. They then begin mining a tree to make themselves a crafting table, which they use to give themselves a bucket. And then out out of nowhere, a creeper comes and blows them up. Oh wait, this is the wrong footage. Oh my god, I am so sorry. This speedrun starts right next to a village, as we can see the very tip of a house right in front of them. The speedrunner makes her way into the village and starts mining a tree. They mine 1, 2, 3, 4 logs and make themselves some sticks and a crafting table. They find a pile of hay bales and make their way towards it and begin mining it. They mine 10 hay bales and begin running away. But wait, did you see that? They have a diamond in their third hotbar slot, but they were just mining wheat, so how the heck did they get a diamond? Well, if you look very carefully at this frame here, we can see a little bit of a diamond above the hay inside their hand, and as they got closer, they picked it up. But a diamond being on the ground randomly like this literally makes zero sense. Well, they begin heading towards the coast of the village until they suddenly start digging straight down, where of course they find a chest. Inside the chest is buried treasure loot, but buried treasure can only spawn beneath sand, and this chest was beneath dirt, making this not legit. But they take a lot of the loot and build out of the hole and place on their crafting table to turn their hay bales into wheat so they can have tons of bread. They also make an iron pickaxe, an iron sword, a shield, and golden pants. They begin exploring more of the village, and they find the iron golem, which they hit and try fighting the iron golem, but they're very clearly gonna lose, so they just run away. But they come back a little while later, and they build 3 blocks up so they can easily kill the iron golem, and they use that iron to make themselves an iron helmet. They then find a villager's house and enter it to find a chest, which has an odd amount of obsidian, but maybe they're just lucky. Well, they go in another villager's house to find even more obsidian, and they find another house which has more obsidian and a flint and steel, which allows them to make the nether portal. So they build themselves a nether portal and light it and enter the nether. Once they're in the nether, they wander around for a little bit until some hoglin things start attacking them, and the speedrunner is right on the edge, so if they get hit one more time, they're going to die. But the speedrunner turns around and jumps off the edge just to land on a vine. But wait, that vine is extremely long. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure vines don't grow to be that long. Well, they're now in the fortress, and they're right next to a blaze spawner. They start killing tons of blazes, and they even eat their enchanted golden apple. They eventually have 3 blaze rods, and they leave the nether. Once they're in the overworld, they run away from the village and just wander around for quite some time. That is until they find this weird red flower on the side of an island. So they dig directly beneath the flower until eventually they find themselves in the stronghold. So they turn their blaze rods into blaze powder and use their ender pearls to make themselves eyes of ender. But wait, are you realizing what I'm realizing? They used their ender pearls to make themselves eyes of ender. But not once in this entire speed run did we ever see them gain any ender pearls. So how could they have possibly gotten ender pearls? But they place in their 6 eyes of ender, which happen to be the exact right amount that they needed. They jump into the end portal, and once they're in the end, they are pretty high up from the island. They check their inventory for anything that they can catch their fall with, and they find a ladder. Even though once again, I don't remember them ever building a ladder. They grab the ladder and they see a block that they can possibly ladder clutch on. So they jump off the edge and they easily make the ladder clutch. I'm not gonna lie, that was very impressive. Well, they make their way closer to the portal, but wait, I don't see an ender dragon anywhere. So this end might just be glitched. Well, as they get closer, they find a sign that says, "The dragon is pooping." Well, I guess the ender dragon is just using the bathroom. So the speedrunner goes to the portal and beats the speedrun.
This speedrunner starts inside of a desert biome, which is a pretty lucky spawn to have inside of a speedrun. But listen to the speedrunner's reaction whenever they load into the world.
Oh my god, I can't believe I spawned right next to a village and also a temple right over there. I got so lucky.
I'm pretty sure that's called a pyramid, not a temple, and you're right, you actually did get extremely lucky. But that doesn't mean that the speedrun is cheated quite yet. Well, the speedrunner starts breaking some dead bushes as they make their way towards the pyramid, which is actually a pro speedrunner strategy. The speedrunner finally reaches the pyramid and begins digging straight down into it. And just listen to their reaction.
Whoa! Oh my goodness, I almost died. I wonder what's inside of this chest.
But the speedrunner opens up the chest, finding surprisingly some pretty normal loot, like bones, string, and some rotten flesh. Nothing too suspicious yet. The speedrunner then loots the second chest, but listen to what they say.
Okay, and this chest. Oh my god, a diamond! Now I have 4. Yay!
They looted 1 diamond and now somehow have 4. But when did they get 4? Well, if we rewind the footage here and then unpause, we can see a sudden cut where they magically gained 3 diamonds, which at first I didn't even notice. But the speedrunner loots the rest of the chests, which all has loot that would normally spawn inside of a pyramid. So we have no proof that anything here was cheated into the game. But the speedrunner uses their sand to build out of the pyramid, and they begin making their way over towards the village. Once the speedrunner gets to the village, they come up with a pretty good idea, but watch very carefully for what happens.
Alright, this rotten flash is not doing it. I need to get some hay bale so I can turn it into bread.
Did you see it? Well, if we slightly rewind the footage and pause it here, we can see what appears to be a polar bear in a desert village. Which, unless you're new to Minecraft, you know that is completely fake. Because everybody knows that polar bears can only spawn inside of jungles. So a polar bear being here inside of a desert literally makes no sense. Well, the speedrunner doesn't even acknowledge the polar bear and instead breaks all of the wheat, and then they say that they need a crafting table.
Alright, now I just need a crafting table.
They start searching through houses until they find something very strange.
Crafting table, where are you? Oh, there's the crafting table. What the heck?
Yeah, so the speedrunner doesn't even know what a crafting table looks like, which is genuinely embarrassing. And this isn't the only time that this happened.
Because I don't really know where a crafting table literally is. Oh, there's a crafting table. What the heck?
Yeah, at this point, this is just sad to watch. But don't worry, because the speedrunner eventually does find a crafting table.
Oh my goodness, a crafting table!
They then turn all of their hay bales into wheat. Now that they finally have a stable food supply, they go around the village exploring a little bit more until they say and do something that is very, very suspicious.
I don't think I checked this house yet. What? Oh, a chest. Oh my god, no way! I found so many obsidian! Oh my goodness, I can't believe I got so lucky!
Yeah, you can't believe you got so lucky that you found obsidian inside of a random chest, which, in case you guys were wondering, is completely fake. Well, now that the speedrunner has enough obsidian to build another portal, they say something very, very weird.
That's like enough obsidian to literally build a castle.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think 13 obsidian is enough obsidian to build a castle, unless it's just a very small castle. The speedrunner starts constructing themselves another portal, and then they realize that they don't have a flint and steel.
Okay, and boom! Oh wait, I don't have any flint and steel. Oh wow, oh, literally gravel. I can't believe I got so lucky that I found gravel. That's literally so lucky. Oh, and I got flint and steel of the flint for the third one.
Okay, at the end there, their sentence kind of fell apart. I'm not too sure what they said, but that is extremely suspicious, especially considering that gravel cannot spawn like this above ground in a desert biome. So did they get extremely lucky, or did they just place down this gravel themselves? I think we both know the answer to that question. Well, now that they have flint, they can make themselves a flint and steel. They then remember that they completely forgot about the crafting table, so they go back to the house, break the crafting table, and then place it back down, and make themselves a diamond sword and an iron pickaxe. And now they're finally ready to enter the nether.
Alright, it's time to go to the nether!
But wait, once they go inside the nether, something absolutely crazy happens.
Uh-oh, there's a blaze! Oh no! I don't have any! Oh my god, I don't have a shield! I need a shield!
So clearly we have tons of blazes all around the place in what appears to be a nether fortress. But after looking at this nether fortress for more than 3 seconds, you can tell that something is very off. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that the speedrunner built this nether fortress themselves, because this does not look normal. Well, the speedrunner goes around attacking the blazes until something unexpected happens.
Die, Blaze, die! Die, Blaze! Oh my god, he's literally hacking! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I'm gonna die. I'm actually gonna die. I'm gonna die. Okay, wait a minute. Give me a second. Give me a second. I have to go AFK.
They say they have to go AFK and open up the chat menu. And that's when a sudden cut happens and they're suddenly full HP again. Not only that, they have armor bars and what looks like a shield. So I think that the speedrunner went in creative mode and gave themselves some iron armor and a shield, which, if I'm being completely honest, is cheating. But also, the speedrunner tries to act like nothing happened.
Oh my god, I'm back. I'm literally back. What the heck just happened? I went AFK for 2 seconds. Oh my goodness. I'm actually gonna die. Okay, Blaze. Okay, why did he punch me? Easy. You're bad, Blaze. You're bad.
The speedrunner starts killing tons of blazes until no blazes are spawning anymore. So they say that 3 is apparently enough and that they don't need any more.
Oh my goodness, how many blazes? I only have 2? I need more than just 2. Die, Blaze, die! right. Oh my god, he gave me one. I have 3. Come on, Blaze Spawner. Hurry up and spawn them. You know what? I don't even need any more blaze rods, huh?
But wait, you need at least 6 blaze rods for blaze powder, and this speedrunner only has 3, so chances are they're not gonna have enough Eyes of Ender to reach the end portal. Well, they go back through the portal, and once they're in the overworld, something very weird happens.
Alright, there we go. Now I have 12 blaze rods, which is enough.
Okay, where did they get an extra 9 blaze rods? Because if we look inside their inventory from a minute ago, they very clearly did not have 9 extra blaze rods, which leads me to believe that they definitely just cheated this in when we weren't looking. But that's not where the shenanigans end. Just listen what the speedrunner says next.
Now, all I need to do is find ender pearls, which I'm pretty sure this exact type of village should always have ender pearls in it.
This exact type of village never has ender pearls. I have no idea what the speedrunner is talking about.
I just gotta find... Oh, yep, it's this house right here. Yep, there it is. Oh, my ender chest? Oh, my goodness. I'm pretty sure ender chests always have ender pearls because they're ender chests, and then they have ender pearls in their ender chests. Oh, my goodness, 16? Oh, let's go.
Okay, this part of the speedrun is obviously fake, because the only way for there to be anything inside of an ender chest is if you place it yourself, which means the speedrunner 100% just placed this inside the ender chest themselves, which is against the rules of Minecraft speedrun, where they turn their blaze rods into blaze powder and make themselves 12 Eyes of Ender. So now the speedrunner throws their Eyes of Ender to try to find the end portal.
Alright, now let's see. Where is the stronghold? It says it's over in this direction. I say we throw one more. Oh my god, it's back this way, so it must be like right here somewhere.
There is no way you expect me to believe that the speedrunner somehow spawned directly on top of the end portal, especially considering that the end portal usually spawns at least 3,000 blocks away from the speedrunner. So something is very, very suspicious about this.
Alright, so I have to start digging straight down. I kind of want to dig straight down right here, to be honest. Oh my god, I'm falling, oh no! Oh, where am I? Oh no, is this the trial chambers?
There's no way the speedrunner just somehow found the trial chamber. But that's not even the most crazy thing that's going to happen. Just watch what happens next.
I'm kind of scared. I think I'm gonna hide inside this wall right here because I'm scared. Oh, what the heck is this? Super duper epic roller coaster? Oh, I forgot to get minecart.
Did you hear that? The speedrunner said they forgot to give themselves a minecart, which is basically them admitting that the speedrun is fake. Well, instead of riding the super duper epic roller coaster, they just walk along it, but just watch what happens next.
Okay, well, go this way. Oh my god, it led right to the stronghold. Oh my goodness, I don't know where to go. I'm just gonna go in like completely random direction because I don't know where to go and I've never been in here before, so I'm probably not gonna know where to go on my first try, but hopefully I get super duper lucky and I somehow go right to the place. Oh my god, I found it! No way! I found it!
There is no way that the speedrunner found the exact path to get to the portal when they've apparently never been here before. Well, the speedrunner places in their 11 Eyes of Ender and enters the portal. Once they're in the end, they find a very suspicious tunnel that leads right up to the surface.
Oh my god, there's Enderman right here. Oh, I can't look in their eyes or else the Enderman will get me.
Is the speedrunner being serious right now? They're saying that 3 blocks of wool are Enderman. There's no way they expect us to believe that this is actual Enderman.
Come here, Ender Dragon, come here! Die, Ender Dragon! Oh my god, he kinda hurt me. Ender Dragon, I'm gonna beat you up. Get back down here. Die, Ender Dragon! Die! What the Sigma? Why are you running away? Come down here and fight me, Ender Dragon. Ender Dragon knows I'm gonna win, so he's running away. You stupid Ender Dragon, come here! Die, 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 Ender Dragon, die! Die, Ender Dragon! Die! Die, Ender Dragon, die! Oh my god, I killed... Oh, what the heck? I think I got killed by one of the Endermen.
The speedrunners somehow killed the Ender Dragon, but they also died. And then at this point, they just give up.
I'm not doing this ever again. This is so stupid.
So they technically didn't even finish the speedrun because it just simply ends there. This speedrunner starts inside of a plains biome, and we can also see what appears to be a village on the right side of the screen, which is actually a pretty lucky spawn, especially for a speedrun. But that's not all, just listen to what the speedrunner says.
Oh my god. Oh, is that another portal? Oh my god, right next to a village? That's literally so lucky.
The speedrunner is actually right. This is a very lucky spawn, which makes this speedrun start out very, very suspicious. Well, the speedrunner makes her way towards another portal when this happens.
Hopefully, another portal has like super good loot. Oh my goodness, a chest?
But wait, before they open the chest, did you see that? Well, if we rewind the footage and pause it here, there are 2 diamond blocks in this ruin portal, and a normal ruin portal always has 1 gold block. So something leads me to believe that the speedrunner built this portal themselves. But that's not all, because what they find inside the chest is absolutely crazy.
My goodness, a chest? Oh, enchanted golden apple! Oh my goodness, I got so lucky! Oh, my loot now.
Okay, enchanted golden apples are extremely lucky, I can't lie. But at the same time, this is very possible that this is legit, so I have no proof that this part of the speedrun is fake.
I have enough obsidian to build the portal, and boom! Oh, but wait, I can't break the crying obsidian. Well, whatever.
Since the speedrunner can't break the crying obsidian, they make their way towards the village.
Alright, let's see if the village has any good loot for me. Oh my goodness, a blacksmith? Oh, what the heck? There's no loot inside a blacksmith? Oh my goodness, whatever. Stupid villager blacksmith.
You see, this part is very weird considering these chests always have loot inside of them. But why would the speedrunner take all of the loot out of the chest? Well, I'm not too sure. But the speedrunner does need food, so they begin by destroying the villager's farm. But what happens next is very, very weird.
Alright, I need food, so I need to get all of the beetroots. That way I cannot be hungry at all, ever again. Hello, Mr. Villager. Hello. Get out of here. Stupid villager, you little dumb villager.
Did you see that? Well, in case you didn't, let me rewind the footage and pause it here. We can see a player dressed up in a cow costume inside of a pen with other cows. And at first, I didn't even notice him. But the weirdest part is that cows cannot even spawn inside of the plains biome, because everybody knows that they can only spawn inside of snowy biome. So a cow being here in the first place is completely impossible. Well, the speedrunner ignores the cow and begins looting more of the village.
Alright, hopefully the other houses actually have good loot, because I literally need good loot to beat the speed. Alright, test. Oh my goodness, only 4 apples? Are you serious? Only 4 apples? Oh, this stupid, dumb, stupid villager house. So stupid.
But wait, did you see that? The speedrunner is holding an iron pickaxe. But if you look at the footage from 10 seconds ago, they did not have an iron pickaxe. And the chest only had apples. So where did they get an iron pickaxe? Well, if we rewind the footage back when they were looting the chest, the window on their left suddenly breaks, and we can see someone throw an iron pickaxe for the speedrunner, which I have a weird feeling could have been the cow that we saw earlier. But we can't physically see the cows, so it's only speculation. The speedrunner then decides that they're gonna go back towards the ruined portal until something very, very weird happens.
Well, at least I have an iron pickaxe, so I can go mine the diamonds in the portal, because I got super lucky and that it's diamonds and not gold. Alright, diamonds, prepare to not be diamonds anymore and to prepare going with my inventory.
But wait just a second. Do you see what I see? Well, if you don't, here, I'll show you. Earlier in the speedrun, there was crying obsidian. And if you look at the portal now, there is no crying obsidian. But we never watched the speedrunner break the crying obsidian to begin with. And that's not even the craziest part. Just watch what happens next.
I'm pretty sure I left flint and steel in here earlier. Oh, I did. Oh my, thank goodness gracious that I left that in there for that one that is for.
The chest somehow had a flint and steel. But earlier, the speedrunner took every single item out of the chest, so something isn't adding up. The speedrunner lights the nether portal and enters the nether, and says this.
Oh my goodness, I'm in the nether! Wait, what the heck? This is a terrible nether spawn! Oh, wait a minute. No way! I spawned at a ruined portal! That's literally so lucky! Hopefully this ruined portal just has a super good loot. Oh my god, I got diamond boots and gold? Oh, I got speedy boots? Oh my goodness!
Speedy boots? Are you kidding me? You see, it's impossible to find golden boots that have a name that's not golden boots. So how does a speedrunner find boots that say speedy boots? I'm not too sure. Well, the speedrunner equips these golden boots and begins zooming around the map until something unexpected happens.
I'm literally so fast. I'm so fast. Oh my goodness. The speed is so fast and so quick. Oh wait. Oh my god. No. Oh my goodness. If I didn't have that enchanted golden apple, I would probably be dead. Wait, but where am I?
The speedrunner accidentally fell into the lava with only a half a heart to spare. So it's a good thing they had that enchanted golden apple. But now that they're in a weird place, this is very, very suspicious. I mean, just watch what happens next.
Oh my god, is that a piglet? Oh my god, it's the piglin! Wait, do I have gold? Oh, I have 7 gold. Here you go. Is that enough for super good loot? Oh my goodness, ender eyes! Oh my goodness, 9 ender eyes. Wanna give me one more, please? Thank you. Thank you! Oh my goodness, thank you so much, Mr. Piglin. Thank you so much, Mr. Piglin. Here's a hay bale just for you.
Wow, that was pretty nice of the speedrunner to give the piglin a hay bale. But seriously, there is no way this speedrunner expected anyone to believe that this was real. And also, piglins cannot even drop Eyes of Ender, as they can only drop Ender Pearls. But the craziest part has still yet to come.
Alright, wait a minute, but how am I gonna get out of here? I guess I'm just, oh my goodness, is that the nether portal? Oh, that's literally so lucky.
The speedrunner found an already lit nether portal, which is physically impossible to find in normal Minecraft. So someone definitely went in here and just placed down a whole nether portal before they began the speedrun.
Oh my goodness, wait a minute. Am I in the stronghold?
There is no way that nether portal led them to the stronghold. I refuse to believe it. But wait a minute, I just realized something. If we look at this frame right here and look a little closer at the nether portal, we can see that the nether portal's teleportation area is 3 blocks wide, when a normal nether portal is only 2 blocks wide, which means that this portal was built by a person and not naturally generated. But that's not even the most fake part of this speedrun.
What the heck? That's literally so lucky. Wait a minute. Oh my goodness. I have 10 Eyes of Ender and I need exactly 10. Oh my goodness. That piglin was literally so nice that he did that for me. That was literally like the nicest thing that I think I've ever seen a piglin do in like my whole entire life of my entire life.
The speedrunner had 10 Eyes of Ender, which was the exact amount that they needed, which by itself is very suspicious. But you know what's even more suspicious that I bet you didn't see is that if we rewind the footage and then pause it here, something about this frame right here is completely fake. And if you haven't seen it yet, here, I'll show you. On the right side of the screen, we see someone with a black skin crouching. I reviewed the speedrun 6 separate times without ever noticing that someone was right there. Well, now that the speedrunner finished the portal, they jump in and say this.
Oh my goodness, that's a long fall. Time for me to do hay bale clutch. I saw Dream do that one time like long ago and then he hay bale clutch, so I don't know how to do it.
But wait, I want you to subscribe if you think that they're gonna fail it, and like the video if you think they're gonna do it first try. Okay, well, here's what happened.
And hiya! What the heck? Okay, I was literally like lagging. I would have had it if I wasn't lagging, so that's the only reason why I didn't do it is because I was lagging.
Yeah, of course they completely failed the hay bale clutch, because let's be honest, everyone saw that coming. Okay, the speedrunners said that they were lagging, but let's be honest, they're just bad at hay bale clutching. And they failed, so if you saw them fail that hay bale clutch, that means you have to subscribe. Also, this part coming up is the craziest part of this entire speedrun.
Alright, and boom. Wait a minute. Where the heck is the Ender Dragon at? Ender Dragon! Oh, Ender Dragon! Oh, there's the Ender Dragon! Oh my goodness, Ender Dragon! Get down here and fight me, Ender Dragon! I'm gonna beat the Ender Dragon up with my shovel. It's perching, it's perching, it's perching! Hiya! Die, Dragon, die! Ah, he got me, but he won't get me next time. Get down here, Ender Dragon! You're not gonna win this one! Hiya! Hiya, Ender Dragon, die! Get back here, Ender Dragon! I'm the most bestest. I'm better than Dream. Get over here, Ender Dragon! Ender Dragon!
no way that the Ender Dragon just died of fall damage. And also, let's be honest, that was just clearly their friend flying around within a light truck, and not the real Ender Dragon. Well, now that the speedrunner has slain the Ender Dragon, they jump into the portal and finish the speedrun with a time of 7 minutes and 35 seconds. If you enjoyed that video, I can almost guarantee you that you're gonna like this video as well. So if I were you, I would click it.